Okay, picture this. You're sitting there, scrolling through your banking app on a rainy afternoon, staring at that savings account balance that's been stuck in the same spot for what feels like forever. You've got, say, $10,000 tucked away, earning a measly few bucks in interest each month, barely enough to cover your coffee habit. And you're thinking, when is this money actually going to grow? Like, really grow? Am I just going to watch it sit there while inflation eats it alive? Yeah, that's literally you right now, isn't it? Or at least it's been me, and it's been pretty much everyone I know who's ever tried to get ahead financially. I'm your money muse. Today, we're breaking down the rule of 72, the speed of growth. If you want to build real wealth, but feel like your money is barely moving or falling behind inflation, hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel reach more people who need this. Look, here's the thing. Most people think growing money is this complicated beast that only Wall Street wizards can tame. They park their cash in a basic savings account, pat themselves on the back for being responsible, and then wonder why they're not seeing any real progress. But what if I told you there's a dead simple mental math trick that can show you exactly how long it'll take for your money to double? No calculator needed, no fancy apps, just divide 72 by your annual interest rate, and boom, you've got your years to double. Yeah, I know it sounds too easy, but stick with me because we're not just talking math here. We're going to unpack the psychology behind why so many of us ignore this stuff, why we make the same dumb mistakes over and over, and how you can flip the script to actually make your money work for you. And trust me, by the end, you'll have actionable steps to apply this today. First off, let's challenge this big myth right out of the gate. Saving money in a low-interest account is safe and smart. No, it's actually one of the riskiest things you can do long-term because of inflation. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the inflation rate as of December 2025 was sitting at 2.7%. That means the cost of everything, groceries, gas, rent, is going up by about 2.7% a year on average. Now, what's the average savings account paying? Based on recent data from Bankrate and the FDIC, it's around 0.4% to 0.6% APY nationally. So if your money's earning 0.5%, but inflation's at 2.7%, you're effectively losing 2.2% in purchasing power every year. That's not saving, that's slowly bleeding out your wealth.
Here's an eye-opener from Gallup. About 38% of Americans don't own any stock at all as of 2025. And according to a Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia study, 57% don't personally own stocks, often citing lack of knowledge or fear as the main barriers. That's millions of people missing out on the historical average annual return of the S&P 500, which has been around 10% including dividends over the long haul, based on data going back to 1926. Think about that. Your money could be doubling way faster if you knew how to harness this.
All right, let's break down the rule of 72 with a real example. Say you've got $25,000 in a high-yield savings account earning 4.5% APY. That's on the higher end right now, per sources like Forbes and NerdWallet. Divide 72 by 4.5 and you get about 16 years. So in 16 years, that $25,000 turns into $50,000, assuming the rate stays constant and interest compounds. Not bad, right? But if it's in a standard savings account at 0.5%, 72 divided by 0.5 is 144 years. You'd be long gone before it doubles. Now, flip it to investing. If you're in the stock market, aiming for that 10% average return, 72 divided by 10 is 7.2 years. So $25,000 becomes $50,000 in just over 7 years. Then it doubles again to 100,000 in another 7.2, and so on. That's the magic of compounding, the interest earning interest. But here's what most people don't realize. Small differences in rates make massive differences over time. Why do we avoid this, though? Psychologically, it's all about fear of loss. Behavioral finance experts, like those at Investopedia, point out traps like loss aversion. We feel the pain of losing money twice as much as the joy of gaining it, so we stick to safe savings accounts, even though they're losing to inflation. Or greed kicks in during bull markets, and we chase hot stocks without understanding the risks. Forbes talks about how emotions like fear and greed ruin returns. People sell low out of panic and buy high out of FOMO. Now, you might be thinking, Emma, what if the stock market crashes? I can't afford to lose money. Fair point. Markets do dip. Look at 2008 or 2020. But historically, the S&P 500 recovers and hits new highs. If you're in for the long haul, say 10 plus years, the rule of 72 shows how compounding overcomes volatility. Plus, diversification helps. Don't put all eggs in one basket. Think of it like a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, it's small and slow, but as it picks up snow, that's your interest or returns, it grows faster and faster. That's compounding. If you stop it halfway because you're scared of a bump, you miss the massive growth at the bottom. This is where it gets really interesting. Apply the rule of 72 to inflation. If inflation's at 2.7%, 72 divided by 2.7 is about 26.7 years. That means prices double every 27 years, roughly. So if a $100 grocery bill today becomes $200 in 27 years, your savings need to keep up or you're toast. Here's what most people don't realize. If your returns are below inflation, you're not just standing still, you're going backward. And with high-yield options at 4 to 5% or stocks at 10%, you can beat it. Let's get specific. Suppose you're 30 with $10,000 in a retirement account earning 7%, a conservative mix of stocks and bonds. 72 divided by 7 equals about 10.3 years to double. By 40, 20,000. By 50, 40,000. By 60, 80,000. Add contributions and it's exponential. But if it's at 2%, 72 divided by 2 equals 36 years, barely doubles once by retirement. Let me tell you about my friend Sarah. She's 35, a teacher, always played it safe with a savings account at 0.4%. She had $50,000 saved, but after running the rule of 72, she realized it'd take 180 years to double, way past her lifetime. Shocked, she shifted to a diversified index fund aiming for 8 to 10%, now projecting 7 to 9 years to double. She's less stressed, more excited about her future. Contrast that with Tom, who panicked in 2022's dip, sold everything, and missed the recovery. Classic loss aversion. Here's another surprise. Debt works against you with the rule of 72. Credit card at 20% interest, 72 divided by 20 equals 3.6 years for debt to double if unpaid. Scary, right? Pay off high-interest debt first. It's like earning a guaranteed 20% return. Psychologically, we underestimate compounding because our brains think linearly, not exponentially. Raymond James notes, "We're not wired for investing. Evolution favored quick survival decisions, not long-term planning." AES International says fear of loss or missed opportunities paralyzes us, often from lack of knowledge. Sterling and Law highlights overconfidence or anchoring to bad advice. You might say, but rates change. True, the rule of 72 is an approximation, best for rates under 20%. For precision, use a calculator, but it's killer for quick estimates. So, what can you do right now? Here's your plan. 1. Calculate your current rates. Grab your bank statements. What's your savings APY? Investments. 2. Run the rule of 72 on them. How long to double? 3. Compare to inflation, around 2.7%. If below, rethink. 4. Diversify. Mix high-yield savings for emergencies, stocks and bonds for growth. 5. Educate yourself. Read The Psychology of Money or use apps like Vanguard. 6. Start small. Invest $100 a month in an index fund. 7. Review annually. Adjust as rates change. Remember Sarah? She started with step 1, saw the gap, and now her net worth is on track to hit $500,000 by 60. You can too. Look, I'm a bit frustrated that schools don't teach this. It's why so many struggle. But you're here, taking control. Your financial future isn't luck, it's math and mindset. Apply the rule of 72 today and watch your wealth accelerate. If this resonated, smash that like button, subscribe for more, and comment your doubling time below. What's your rate? Let's chat. Thanks for watching. Go make that money grow.